In the city of Paterson, right? I believe the Kwanzaa committee that Sister Thomasina had and some others, Brother Kamal Kalfani, whose birthday is here today, they were the first, some of the first in the city of Paterson to acknowledge our cultural holiday of Kwanzaa. Is that right, Sister Thomasina? Yeah. Right back there. Give her a strong hand. Some of the first in this city. Was that in the 80s or the 70s? All right.
As a matter of fact, it actually started in my apartment.
All right, right? Then it went to the library, then we started doing it other places. Yes. That's right. Yes. And now, in Paterson now, for the first year, Kwanzaa is going to be celebrated every single day. Give that a strong hand, right? Yesterday, it was at the St. Augustine Church on Governor Street. Today is here at the Masonic Temple. Tomorrow is going to be at Eastside High School from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The 29th, which is Monday, is going to be at Jacksonville. That's 325 Grand Street from 6:30 to 9 p.m. On the 30th, Tuesday, is going to be at the Christopher Hope Center from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on the 31st, our Kuumba Day is going to be at the Riverside Terrace. What is that, also known as the Fifth Ave Project? Yes. Okay. The Riverside Terrace, 29 Harris Place, from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, if you know anything about Kwanzaa, the last day is where we have our feast, the Kuumba. So I believe that's the reason why it's going to be 7 strong, long, informative hours. So make sure you make each one of these Kwanzaa celebrations, because it used to be in Paterson. We used to do a Kwanzaa always on the second day. Yes. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, Miss Nancy. You got a belt over there? Please. And then the last day, the first day of Imani, excuse me, everyone, is going to be at the Christopher Hope Center once again, 60 Temple Street, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Right? Did you want to say something else besides that? Okay, thanks. See, this is a community thing, right? So you got to correct me up here, and we're going to get things working together. Right? We have Kwanzaas going on everywhere. We got a couple in Newark going on. We got them in Jersey City. But we right here in Paterson. You can spread it all around and enjoy our culture, okay?
All right. So by others. All right. Hopefully, I need to say this before we go any further. This principle is really important, and we want to live all the principles each day, but we need to understand what they are. Self-determination. It's very important. But before we can determine, self-determine, people, you really need to do a self-assessment. You got to figure out why you believe in what you believe in. You have to come up with it. See, right now we're not able to answer that hardest 3-letter question in the world from our little watotos. Why? Why, Mommy? And so we haven't thought about it. So the only answer we get is, because I say so, damn it. But we never answer the question. In order to answer the questions, you have to do a self-assessment. You have to figure out, it might take 3 months, 6 months, to figure out why you believe in what you believe in. You have to determine what right and wrong is. Right? People, right and wrong, are based on beliefs, not facts. And as I often say, everybody knows that I'm not that smart. I only know 2 damn facts. One, H2O equals water. 2, your ass gonna die. Everything else is a belief. So you really need to get into you to understand you have a right to raise your children based on your values and your beliefs. But what are your values and beliefs? You have to figure that out. You have to figure that out so that you're able to then don't be whipped down, beat down by that little watoto right there. When you start saying, why, mommy? Why? Why? You have to do that. And once we determine what your beliefs and values are, then we work on self-determination.
Ashe.
The libation ceremony is done in praise and honor of the collective commitment to the work and struggle of the ancestors. It is both instructive and inspirational, as well as mandatory within the framework of our value system. For it is they, our forefathers and foremothers, who through their love and labor and struggle laid the foundations for us, pushed our lives and history forward, and gave us basic principles by which we could all live our lives in strength, dignity, brotherhood, and sisterhood. Pouring libations and making the libation statement is both an honorific, assertion and a call to carry on the struggle and work of the ancestors. It is more clearly defined as a recognition and respect of the contributions of those before us, of our history, and the models it offers us to emulate. Brother Rahim will lead us through libations, and I ask that we all stand, please.
It's at this point during libation in which you as the community participate as a family. The call is made, the response is given. I make the call, you make the response. The response from you is going to be Harambe. Harambe means let us pull together. Kiswahili, okay? Harambe. Harambe. Not loud enough. The brother said earlier, and he didn't mention it per se, but he was saying to you in reference to Africa and our Pan-African culture and history, is that Kwanzaa is celebrated all over the world. 25 million people celebrate Kwanzaa. So those places that he was asking you about are places that Kwanzaa is actually celebrated. We need the Africans of the diaspora as well as people of African descent to hear you, Paterson. So Harambe! Harambe! That's what I'm talking about. Now, what we're going to do is in pouring libation, we use a plant, of course, because it's part of that harvest that Dr. Malana Karenga talks about, which is the first fruit pertaining to Kwanzaa. And we pour to the north, the south, the east, and the west, the four winds of the earth. Once I make the call, before I come up, when I come up, I'm going to say Harambe. As I come up, that's when you say Harambe with me. We have to be in unison. We have to be with an emoji, okay? We're going to use the cucumber emoji cup, okay? The libation statement. Our fathers and mothers came here, lived, loved, struggled, and built here. At this place, their love and labor rose like the sun and gave so much we give in return. On the same soil, we sow our seeds and build and move in unity and strength. Here too, we will continue their struggle for liberation and a higher level of human life. May our eyes be the eagle, our strength be the elephant, and the boldness of our life be like the lion. And may we remember and honor our ancestors and the legacy they left for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow. Harambe! Harambe! For our people everywhere then, for Shaka, Samori, and Nzinga, and all the others known and unknown who defended our ancestral land, history, and humanity from alien invaders. Harambe! For Garvey, Muhammad, Malcolm, and King, Harriet, Fannie Lou, Sojourner, Bethune and Nat Turner, and all others who dare to define, defend, and develop our interests as a people. Harambe! For Qaeda and the Nguza Saba, the new system of views and values which gives identity, purpose, and direction to our lives. Harambe! For the new world we struggle to build. Harambe! Now for this last one, you have to hold your Harambe. Okay, the children always love this part because they outshine us as adults. They know we're going to be short-breathed. So for once adults, I need us to let our children hear us, and we need to outlast them on this Harambe. Also, I want you to take your black fist on the last Harambe, pull it down, and hit your loving chest where your heart beats, and beating that sound, that drum, that's part of our Africanness. Okay? Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
Pull down that black fist. So what I would do is do what before you pull it down? Put it up. Put up that black fist. Pull it up as high as you can. On the last Harambe, pull it down. Beat that African breast, that African chest. Okay? And for the continuing struggle through which we innovatively rescue and reconstruct our history and humanity in our own image and according to our own needs.
Harambe!
What do we all say?
Harambe.
We're going to do it different. The person's going to call out their ancestor. I'm going to repeat their ancestor's name, and we're all going to say, Ashe. Meaning, let it be. So it shall be. Right?
Yes.
All right. You follow me?
Yes.
Okay. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Where you from? It's Mr. Mendez, right?
Yep.
From the Dominican Republic, right?
Yes.
You got people of African descent there?
Of course.
Of course. You heard it from, you heard it.
Samana. Yeah.
Huh?
In Samana.
And say it.
In Samana.
And Samanan.
Yep.
My
Lot of
friend,
brothers.
huh?
A lot of brothers and sisters from Africa, they settled in Samana many years ago. And the first James Williams, when I hear that name, it was 11 years old, and it was in Samana. They still live there. And the first language is the English language in Samana, in that section of Dominican Republic.
All right, in Samanan. Didn't I tell you when I came up here?
Yeah.
But you didn't believe me. Yeah, I know you did. I'm just being funny. All right? Yeah. So, sister, who would you like, which ancestor would you like to, who's no longer with us, that you like to invoke?
My father, Robert Harris.
To our dear father, Robert Harris, we say, Ashe.
My mother, Edna Harris.
Oh, okay, I didn't make the connection. To our dear mother,
We're not connected.
not even connected, but we are connected. Look at that. Sitting right next to a Harris, right? What's her name?
Edna Harris.
To our dear mother, Edna Harris, we say, Ashe. Mendez.
Kamahu Kafani, my great
All
friend.
right. To our brother Kamal Kalfani, we say,
Ashe.
Ashe.
My mother, Irma Nelson.
To Sister Irma Nelson, we say,
To my grandmother, Mary Johnson.
to our dear, my great grandmother, Mary Johnson, we say,
My mother, Pamela Johnson.
to my auntie Pamela Johnson, we say, Asada? Yes.
Uncle Talbert.
To our Uncle Talbert Hibbert, we say,
Ashe.
All right, sister.
Ella Hampton.
To Ella Hampton, we say,
Ashe.
come on, brother. To Elijah Muhammad, we say,
Ashe.
smart young man.
Sister Betty Shabazz.
Sister Betty Shabazz, we say,
Ashe.
Ethel McDaniel. To our sister Ethel McDaniel, we say,
Ashe.
come on, brother.
Grandma Pearl.
Grandma Grandma Pearl, we say? Ashe. Sister Selena.
Maya Angelou.
To Maya Angelou, we say? Ashe. Brother Thorpe.
To my maternal grandparents, James and Mary Davis.
To James and Mary Davis, we say? Ashe. Mrs. Thorpe.
My grandmother, Hattie Louise Mims.
To Hattie Louise Mims, we say? Ashe.
To my Uncle William.
Uncle William.
William Perry. To our Uncle William Perry, we say? Ashe. Sister.
To my mother, Dorothy
Wilker.
Booker.
To our dear sister Dorothy Booker, we say?
Ashe.
All right. Well, I love these two girls right here. We got them. Look at them. Look how shy they are. We got them. Give them a strong hand. Clap them on. We all with you. We with you. We got to encourage for you. See how she came out of that shell? Come on, little sis. What did she say, Sister Wahida?
Oh, KP, her Uncle KP.
Huh?
Her Uncle KP.
To her Uncle KP, we say? Ashe. Sister Wahida?
She wanted to say her grandmother. Go ahead.
Come on.
Grandmother. Go ahead.
Grandma
Bertha
Bertha.
Hickman.
Bertha Hickman, we say? Ashe. All right.
My mother, Mabel Foreman. We say Ashe.
All right, to Mabel Foreman, we say Ashe. Ashe. All right, sister.
My mother, Katie Miller.
Katie Miller. To our dear ancestor Katie Miller, we say Ashe.
To my mother, Eunice Hodges, and my mentor, Frederick Douglass.
To Frederick Douglass and June.
My mother, Eunice Hodges.
To Eunice Hodges, we say
Ashe.
Ashe. It's the other council person here, right? We see you. You're amongst everybody here. You're not gonna hide in the crowd.
We ain't hiding, that's why I'm sitting here.
All right.
To my grandfather, Victor Davila.
Victor Davila.
Ashe.
Where you from, Councilwoman?
I'm born and raised here. I'm Puerto Rican Peruvian.
Puerto Rican Peruvian?
Yes.
Glad you said Peru. They got black people in Peru?
Yes, they do.
You heard it, didn't you?
Yes, they do. Never
Oh,
denied it.
okay. To brother, okay. No. No.
You skipped
Oh, I'm sorry, sister.
That's okay. To my grandmother, Burl Byard, and my grandfather, Cirillo Byard.
Say the first name again.
Her name is Burl.
Burl
His name
Byer
is Cirillo.
and Surreal. Ashe.
Ashe.
Brother Gil, Brother Dave.
I'd like to say to my recently departed mother, Sylvia Gilmore.
All right. To our recently departed ancestor, Sylvia Gilmore. Ashe.
Ashe.
Brother Kareem.
Our leader, most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We got another one. We say? Ashe. Here's my brother here in the back. My brother from another mother. Sadiq.
I say my grandmother, Miss Daxon.
Miss Daxon. To our grandma, Miss Daxon, we say?
Ashe.
Brother Kimfe.
My recently departed mother, Dorothy Little.
To Dorothy Little, we say?
Ashe.
Oh, yeah.
To my grandmother, Louise Williams.
To Louise Williams, we say?
Ashe.
Sister Malika.
To my mother, Judith Jane, and General Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Okay. To our mother, Judith Ann Cole. Got her last name. That's my fiance, that's all I know. And to our Black Power General, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, we say? Ashe. Come on, brother.
Down there, the little brother said he Ashe means.
I said it in the beginning, it means, but we always have to continue to teach our children, right? So it will be, let it be. It, like as if it comes into existence, right? We invoking the spirit of our people, our ancestors who are still embodied in our spirit, right? We call their name out, right? And they are still here with us. So it shall be. So it shall be what? That they are still here with us, right? Ashe, that's right. Come on, brother.
To my deceased grandmother,
Esther Myers. To Grandma Esther Myers, we say Ashe. Ashe. Come on.
My grandmother Dolores Perry.
To Dolores Perry, we say Ashe. Ashe. Come on.
to my great grandmother, Esther Myers.
Great grandmother Esther Myers, we say Ashe. Brother. Great uncle Jimmy Jones, we say Ashe. Brother. Mildred. To Mildred Warren, we say Ashe. Harriet Tubman, we say Ashe. Martin Luther King, we say Ashe.
Mayor Marty Barnes.
Mayor Marty Barnes, all right? Come on, Ashe. I don't care what nobody say. Mayor Marty Barnes gave a lot of people jobs.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
became the mayor. I don't care what they say. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. So, say, huh? So, brother number one, James Brown, we say Ashe.
Dr. John Henry Clark, Ella Baker.
So Elevator and Dr. John Henry Clark, we say
To one of the assassinated presidents of Nigeria, Agu Ironsi. Yeah.
Agu Rosi,
Yep.
we say Ashe. For the Smallwood, Amiri Baraka, we say Ashe. Chief,
My mother and father, Allen, Mary Moody, and Malcolm X.
Ashe. Clear.
My grandmother Phyllis Steele and Nat Turner.
Who's still in that turn?
Ashe.
That's a good combination. Ashe. Sis,
To Minerva Goodwin.
Ashe.
let us say that again. Say it again.
Minerva Goodwin.
No, okay.
Ashe.
Ashe.
To my grandmother Maud Sweat.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Our grandfather, Willie Sweat.
Ashe.
We say Ashe. In fact,
Paul Robinson and Hattie Mae Gibbons.
Ashe. She turned around. Did you see her turn around?
To my mother, Cynthia Adams.
Ashe.
To my grandmother Peggy Burns.
Ashe. Peggy Burns. Ashe. Your little brother. Say it again. Loud and proud. Loud and proud.
To my grandfather, Wesley.
Grandpa Wesley. You say? Mom.
To my mother, Faith Ann Jarvis.
Faith Ann Jarvis. We say? In front.
To my mother, D'Alva Ellaby.
D'Alva Ellaby. We say? The young brother next to you. Martin Luther King. We say? Sister. Oh, Jesse Dixon. Okay. We say for Jesse Dixon. Ashe.
To my parents, Catherine and William Ellerby.
Catherine and William Ellaby. We say? In the back.
To my Uncle Jose.
Uncle Jose. We say?
To my siblings, Jose, Ellen, and Michael. Ashe.
Jose, Evelyn, and Michael. We say? Sister Pooh.
To my parents, Thomas and Annie Billy.
Thomas and Annie.
Billy.
Say the last name?
Billy.
Billy. We say? Brother.
To my paternal great-grandmother, Josephine Thomas, and my father, James Edwin Brown Sr.
We say? That's another good brother. I know that, brother. Your queen.
To my big mama, my grandmother, Lorraine Moss, and to my mother, Pamela Moss.
Big Mama Lorraine and Pamela, we say? Ashe. Who else got a big mama or have a big mama? Right? It's our culture, man. Embrace your culture and spread it to your children. Brother Lionel Muhammad back there, my good brother.
Noble Drew Ali.
To Noble Drew Ali, we say? Ashe. Sister Councilwoman. Oh, hi.
My aunt Rosalie Berman, Paterson, South Carolina.
To Auntie, what we say? Rosalie. Rosalie, we say? Ashe. Strong brother Akbar. Ancestor. No, I didn't miss you, sister. I'm sorry. I saw you at the end. Brother Akbar, ancestor.
Boy. Dr. John Henry Clark.
Dr. John Henry Clark. Again, we say?
Ashe.
Sister.
Madam C.J. Walker.
To Madam C.J. Walker, we say? Ashe. Brother Muhammad in the back.
Muhammad. Ashe.
All right, Imam Wardi Muhammad. We say? To your wife. Malcolm
I
X,
was
we say?
born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there's been times that I felt I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change has come. Oh, yes it will. The change has come.
Okay, I need you to stand on your feet. We're going to do a little exercise. All right? Now, as a community, I want you to embrace your brother and sister. I'm going to tie all this in of why this is important to my story. Is that okay? Just embrace your brother and sister. Just hug on them. Because everybody needs love. Everybody needs support. Isn't that right? And don't you feel better when somebody touches you? That's wonderful. Come on, let's interact with one another. That's so important. Introduce yourself. They may not even know who you are. times I have my students to interact with me. Is that okay? All right, so I want you to repeat that again. Self-determination. Self-determination. One of the principles of Kwanzaa is to define ourselves, right? So it actually means that if you don't know who you are, somebody's going to define who you are. Isn't that right? If you hear people calling you, it's determined by what you answer to. How many understand what I'm saying? And as black people, African Americans, we got to know who we are. We have a rich, somebody say a rich culture. We are embedded in every fiber of society. We've created most of the things that you're sitting on, that you look at, that you use. Isn't that the truth? So we are a wonderful people. Give yourselves a hand. Our children need to know that. That means that there is no challenge that you face that you cannot make it out. Isn't that true? Give yourselves a hand. There's no struggle. Somebody say struggle. No dis-ease. Somebody say dis-ease. That you have that you can't make it out of. It has nothing to do with what doctors say. It has nothing to do with what people say. It has to do with what you say. Are you determined to make it? And if you're determined to make it, the other one that I thought was very interesting, I was going to use my help, but I'm going to try to use the light, is name yourselves. Who are you, really? And one of the questions or answers is, the person you are is you under pressure. When you're faced with things in life, how do you respond to it? Do you wow out? Do you cuss everybody out? Or do you know because of based on who you are and your heritage that you're strong, and if your ancestors made it through slavery, through struggles, through civil rights, that you can make it? That's what you're made of. Come on, give yourselves a hand. Your name is attached to your purpose. What's your name? What's your purpose? What's your calling? Who are you? Turn to your neighbor and say, who are you? If you don't understand your purpose, you will abuse it. That's why we see abuse, all types, sexual abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse. Because you don't understand the purpose of a thing, you're going to do what? I can't hear you. Abuse it, correct? So my story began over 24 years ago. I was diagnosed with a deadly disease. Everybody know about it. Everybody heard about it. Everybody was afraid of it. Everybody ran from it. But many people were infected by it. And it was HIV. Somebody say HIV. HIV, human immune deficiency syndrome, or human immune virus, or acquired immune deficiency syndrome. HIV is different from AIDS. Let me understand that. HIV is the virus, okay, that causes AIDS. All right? There can be a 10-year span and you not show signs, but it does not mean that you're not infected. All right? There's many myths of how it is being transmitted. People saying that it was a conspiracy. I don't know all that. It didn't matter how it came. It's the fact that I had received it. And I had to find a way how to overcome it, even though back then, 24 years ago, people were dying like flies. How many know that? They were just dropping dead. They went in the hospital, they looked good, and before you know it, they were dead or they were sick unto death. But I was determined, based on my belief and my strong belief in God, that dying wasn't an option. I had 2 little boys to raise, and I was not going down like that. because I understand that it wasn't really about just me, but it's about you. Who knew that 24 years later, I'll be standing before you telling my story? I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about surviving. But what I wanted to tell you was, as a black community, whether it's a conspiracy or not, knowledge is power. Somebody say that. Knowledge is power. So get informed. Stop listening to your friends, young people. Stop listening to people that don't know anything. And get educated. Somebody get educated. Get educated. Get the facts about it. How it can be transmitted. What are the symptoms of it? How you can avoid it. Now, how you can avoid it is easy, but it's not always easy to do. How many know how to avoid it? Say it with a loud voice. Abstinence. All right. Now, I don't know how many people want to do that, but that's how you avoid it. All right? But if you can't avoid that, then wrap it up. Somebody say wrap it up. Wrap it up. Get proper safe sex practices, if you will. Now, my belief, I believe in living by a moral code, but I'm not judging you. Whatever you do, just don't allow people to define who you are. The other principle was speak for yourself, right? So don't let people tell you who you are. Okay? Be a person in a committed relationship. Don't be somebody's chick on the side. Don't be somebody's other 3-4 partners. All right? Be in a monogamous relationship if you have to. All right? As my mother would say, if you have to go out and do it, do it. Just be safe. Use your head, not your heart. Come on, women. Because we move by our emotions. By emotions is like a fleeting water. Amen? It goes this way and it goes that way. Somebody say, use your head, not your heart. Because everything in your heart, you don't always have to do. Because sometimes in my heart, I feel like killing some people. Amen? But I'm not supposed to be doing it. So come on, use your head. Somebody say, use your head, not your heart. Now, I'm going to get ready to take my seat, but I want to do this little exercise. Everybody who is 13 through 24, I want you to stand. Not everybody that want to be 13 and 24, but everybody that is 13 through 24, stand. Let me see the young people in the house. 13 to 24. Okay? I want all the adults to look at that. Talk about the village in our community. That is our future. If we don't empower them and educate them, guess what? They will die before their time. Young people, listen to me. The age 13 to 24 are the ones that are the most susceptible to HIV and AIDS today. You get what I'm saying? All the things that you do, all the friends that you're around, be careful of the company that you keep. Because you will adapt to their behaviors and their belief systems. But if you know who you are and you stand up for what you believe, you can be a strong, proud, and black young men and women. Come on, give them a hand. You may be seated. All the women in the house stand. We are the most vulnerable to the HIV and AIDS virus. Because many of us, we may not be telling our children, but many times we're not practicing safe sex practices ourselves. Many times we're preaching to them, but we're not practicing what we preach. Or we think that we might be past, many times, pregnancy, so we don't think about the virus. We think about, Lord, I passed being pregnant, but we forget about there's something else out there to get us. So we have to protect ourselves. And then teach the younger generation how to protect themselves. Let me understand what I'm saying. You may be seated. Now, 55 years and over, stand up. Don't be ashamed. Be proud of your age. That's all right. The new cases of HIV and AIDS is 55 years and over. Because while you think that you know you can't get pregnant, you can catch something else. And many of us, and many times in our society, because we are not educated, because of the lies and the myths about HIV and AIDS, we think we're not susceptible, but we are the most susceptible. So I would say to you to teach the others the truth about HIV and AIDS. You may be seated. Now, do you see that everybody was reached in this house? Which means that we're all susceptible. If you are having sex, if you are having multiple partners, and if you are in and out of relationships, protect yourself. Wrap it up. Find out how you can protect yourself. The other thing is to create and speak. And I believe that if we speak a thing, we can have a thing. How many believe that? And the word that came out of my mouth was, I shall not die, but I shall live. And I shall declare the works of the Lord. And when I went to the doctor, she asked me, did you just find out? And I said, no. She said, how long have you known? I said, 21 years. She said, what in the world have you been doing? I said, I've been holding on and trusting God. And you know what she told me off the record, my doctor? She said, whatever you was doing, you were doing something right, because we didn't know what we were doing. And we were practicing on you and other people. And then 3 years later, I was able to go into treatment and get the right medicine. And now I stand here undetected. Get informed. Get tested. Get treated.
Tonight, this is our first from the Elambe Brath Power Coalition award, in which we'll be giving out every year to a young person. No old people getting this here. This is for young people. No offense to old people. Someone said I was entering elderships too. But it's for the youth to encourage them. And we have 5 categories. The category of history, caring, activism, research. It's one more that slipped my mind. It's 5 categories in which we'll be picking. There's an entire committee of people from the committee that is organized to eliminate negative images against African people, CMOTAP, who we're working with out of Brooklyn, New York, working with the family power. This is the committee we put together. In the name of Elambe Brass, who was one of the leaders in the Black Arts Movement, the Black Power Movement. Y'all remember the time when the people was wearing afros and Black is Beautiful? Well, Elambe Brass is the one that started that right there. He passed away some years ago. You probably didn't remember his face. You knew Gil Noble, but he was the brains. He taught Gil Noble about Africa. There's no doubt. This is out of Gil Noble's mouth. So to keep his memory alive, I talked to his family and told him that it was heavy on our mind, and we talked to our council of elders and asked them what they thought of the idea. And they embraced the idea, said it was a good thing to remember them. Also, y'all keep it down a little bit as you dialogue, because we're really trying to honor this brother over here right now, okay? Yeah, we're here to honor this brother right now, so I need your attention. Please. We're trying to honor him right now, and I'm just trying to set a context. So, we spoke with the family, because we don't just do things and not speak to people. We spoke to the family. We're waiting to meet. I was in dialogue all weekend about this. I told them we're going to go forward with the first one. The next one, we're going to be given every year an award, a Elambe Brath, a Pan-African award, with attached to it a $5,000 cash. This is a committee of people, okay? My role will be the person to organize. We have a person that's going to handle finance, and we're going to put that finance in their hand for them to do as they wish to do with that. So the recipient of this here first award, and I wanted to bring his mother because, you know, he flowed from her. He is Shambe because of her. Without her, there's no him. So we honor not only him, we honor her, to whom life flows through, right? And he has the circle of family here. Khalil, Asada, his queen Malika, Carter here. What's up, Carter? Carter is just shooting straight. Said, look, he came and said, look, I'm hungry. He ain't with nothing else. He said, I'm hungry. So, this is on behalf of the Elambe Brass Power Coalition. From this day on, we are known as the Elambe Brass Power Coalition. And we will give you that history and writing why we chose Elambe. We're also planning on starting the Amiri Baraka Steady Group. It's a testimony to their legacy and to keep their name alive. And we're not doing this here just for ourselves. It's reaching out and expanding to everyone that's in our community. The last thing, before I give this to them and bring Smallwood up, there are 7 committees which we are trying to organize a Black Parents Association. Who was here when Dr. Umar came? Who? Okay, now all of you that were here when Dr. Umar was here, and all of the forums that we put on and brought people here, it was not a concert, y'all. It wasn't a concert. We bring these people here to lay out a framework so we can get busy. We are in the process of establishing a Black Parents Association that is independent of the Board of Education that will monitor what is going on so that our children get the best. We have one of those committees will be the Finance Committee, in which we'll be researching every dime in which the Board of Education is spending. You know, contracts are going out all over the place. You know, we need jobs. We should be at the table. So we're going to be calling on people, and we have professional people that will be training people. We have an advocacy committee in which when you have problems in the school system, your advocate, not the Board of Education's advocate, no, our advocate sitting there, and the Board of Education advocate can be there too. But our advocate will be there understanding the law, not as a lawyer, as an advocate. To see to it that you're not violating. You'd be surprised when you have an advocate there. I've been there with people, and believe me, they shut up when you know. So, be prepared if you're really about the Nguzo Saba. If this is not just an alternative form of entertainment. Okay? Because time is short, we're not going to be here. Some of us ain't going to be here next year. May God bless our soul. So on behalf of the Elambe Brass Power Coalition, we present, I don't even have my glasses, but I'm going to strain it here. We present this award to Brother Shambe, and it is an honor to give it to the brother because he exhibits all 5 of the characteristics. He's Pan-Africanist. If you remember last year, those of you that were here, when Brother Akbar Muhammad came, Minister Farrakhan, international representative, Minister Farrakhan sent him here to be with us. Those of you that were here, you bear witness to it, and we have it on tape. He loved the Shambe's energy so much that he didn't even want to talk. So on behalf of the Elambe Brass Power Coalition and the community, we present this here to this here brother. I watched him grow into a young man. You understand? He watched us working, and you know, we're happy to see that he is the rising sun as our sun descends, because we're not going to be here forever. And when you see talent in young people, we have to push them. And believe me, I'm taking the time to say this here because you don't know the path. You don't know the path this young brother has went through. He had went through some serious struggles because he was breaking from a relationship. And Brother Kamal, before he died, he told me, he said, Bilal, he said, go and comfort that brother. He said, he's our brother. He said, he's our brother. Comfort him. So I got to get running around and get up out of here. You got the mic on me. Brother Shambe, the first award.
Abarigani. He said Abarigani. If you remember us from the extended Black family movement, we always said Black love. Black love. I'm honored to get this award. I love you, Paterson, the black community. That's who I represent. I want to give a big shout out to my brother, my right hand brother Jihad Shakur back there. Brother Sadiq was in here at one time. We, did a lot of things in the community. We held food drives and clothes drives and tutoring programs and lectures. We did free lectures and we did all kinds of things in this community here. And I just want to say I thank you to my mother. I love you. It's my fiance, Malika. She's my compliment. I love you. We just love our people, man. My grandmother, she was an activist. My grandmother raised me with my mother. My mother was a single mother working, and I used to be with my grandmother all the time. And my grandmother used to have an afro when afros wasn't in style no more, and she was Black Power, right? She used to roll with, at that time, with Al Sharpton and Alton Maddox and C. Vernon Mason in the early 80s, and she
I guess we got to keep repeating these same things about how we got to learn our own history. Because if you wait for your enemy to tell your history, you'll basically believe that, like they're doing in the books now and showing in the books, that we were slaves and then this is how we started. The true reality is we was more greater than that. You hear people say that, but honestly, you got to get your children, I'm telling you to get into some sort of education, some African American studies class. I'm going to lay bloom. I'm actually in college now, and I got African American studies class. You will be amazed of the information that they held back from us. It's anybody seen that DVD Hidden Colors? Remarkable. If y'all don't, I'm telling you right now, everybody should find a way to get that when you leave here. You will love it. One of the key things that they mentioned in Hidden Colors was, he said that after the Civil War, that the Vatican put out an edict to remove all black history from the books. We'll say that to y'all again. They put out an edict, meaning the law, let's remove all black history from the books. There was a reason for that, because we was doing some tremendous things. It's funny, anybody know about Hannibal Barker of Carney? Huh? I was watching the History Channel and they had him as being white. I was like, what? But the crazy thing about it, as they showing him being white, they show all the remarkable things that he done, And that was a strange thing to me. But I'm gonna mention somebody recently that passed, not a couple of years ago. Michael Jackson, right? Everybody know who Michael Jackson is, right? I had a spoken word thing or a public speaking class where I did a speech on Michael Jackson. So I had to do a little research on Michael Jackson. And one of the things that they said was, they said he was broke, he was crazy, right? Y'all remember this, right? I went on YouTube maybe like 6 months ago, and they had, what's the brother name? Very active older brother. He was a comic. He was a Dick Gregory. There you go. Dick had a conversation with Michael, and he said, Mike, what is this they saying about you that you broke? He said, so Mike went somewhere and got some paperwork, and he showed them paperwork where Michael had $7 billion of liquid cash in Swiss banks. I was like, wow. So then I seen this other thing where Mike was speaking in somewhere in London, and he said, basically to make a long story short, he said, I'm gonna leaving Sony owning 51% of Sony. That's right. I said, wow, this is crazy. I ain't never heard this before. So I did my research, come to find out, in the early 80s, Mike bought this Northern Catalog of Europe, which owned the Beatles. He bought it for $47.5 billion. Then in like maybe 82, 83, he bought CBS catalog records, right? So this Japanese company approached him in the early 80s and said, yo man, we want to get into the music business. We'll give you 50% of our company and we'll give you $90 million, okay? And that was Sony. Mike did this. The reason why I'm mentioning this because all the current artists, to make a long story short, believe this or not, from Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake. Michael owned all 50% of all the catalog. He used to get an annual check of $800 million a year. Annual, just from all these other people and all these other artists. I say this to you for a reason, because you can't wait for your enemy to tell you about yourself. I'm telling you. For instance, like Jack Johnson. People know about his boxing, but do you know this dude was so intelligent, he had patents on, because he was into like cars, racing cars. Yeah. So he made this instrument that we use every day called a wrench. And he put a patent on it. It's still in it, and the patent still is on his name. Beautiful thing about us, man. Don't wait for these enemies to tell you about yourself. Obviously, you want to take the station of eminence. But the caliber you release from the chamber get the response of a rubber band and a paper clip. Plus your emanation is stewed with degenerates I have on my embalming list. I'm going to preserve them so my progeny not to classify the monstrous psychology, lace it with the etymology. So there's a resurgence of black MCs on their phone. Excuse me. If there's a resurgence of black MCs in their life, they can form unions that embodies a lyricist critical philosophy. Excuse me. Some of your flows are mad and insidious like Etna insuring slave ships. Forget the apologies. Let's talk reparations and get the math together for the Satanists who endowed the Ivy List. You know the type of cat that got the swag of a philanthropist. But in his free time, though, he probably like to swim in a pool of human blood and got a deep, facetious attitude for the indigent. One of the Prince of Wales said if he could be reincarnated, he'd come back as a plague and kill 80% of the people. What man of creation has this type of hate and literally the embodiment of evil? Imagine a mind so convoluted they'll feed you pig entrails, rape everything on the plantation, then convince you that you're ugly. So sadistic, kill a bystander during a car game, quote the Bible, write laws in Congress. George Tillman in the life was a true incarnation of ugly. Benjamin Franklin said that the good Quakers in Pennsylvania would be shocked, and I quote, he said, when the white savages from Ireland and Scotland migrated on the scene, there was a bloodthirsty, whiskey-drinking clannish bunch. It was written that their lawlessness took part in creating a barbaric scene. It was said when they used to wrestle each other, they used to bite each other ears and nose off, scratch each other's eyes out. They call it the rough and tumble. This was their play sport. The upper class was a little different. If you disagree with him, he'll call you a damn liar, then blow your brains out. You know the type that was above the law, a traveling man, a mason. Almost no doubt. Okay. The Pope told these savages that the Africans didn't have no souls. So you better believe that the tortures that was released from these demons was so horrific, it probably couldn't be told from another African soul. The cannibalism, barbarism, mutilations, brutalations of epic proportions. It's like when Stalin started to death 20 million Ukrainians. Oh, I give all them demons, they do proportions. America, the so-called beautiful. For 4 centuries, you conducted one of the worst human holocausts this planet has ever seen. But the truth is so suppressed, like the planet is saying that the African American don't like education in the land of dreams. My forefathers came through Sullivan's Island, not Ellis Island. So add 4 centuries of nightmares to those dreams. But it seemed that your wealth got you casting spells like a Kabbalist, now you're thinking of omnipotence. Listen, I dare you. Get your litigation team and try to get off the angel of death list. You know the type of mind that become very pugnacious when it comes to who wrote the hieroglyph. Sheikh Anta proved that it was an African hand. Now they want to throw aliens on the list. I heard back then that Reagan was goofing and laughing about future attack of alien ships. How far would they go to get you all to jump on this one world government ship? Listen, I want to be like the one who threw the rock at the Philistine, not like the one who worshipped Mithra and used the guillotine. Get back to myself. Cut granite like I was using a laser beam. Carry 50 tons down and now, doing those Imhotep type of things. The sheikhs in my circle stay didactic and philosophic, so you might want to group together to kind of my synopsis. I'm going to show you the hieroglyphs so you can spit the truth like Herodotus, change the capital like Akhenaten, and take the mythology off the obelisk. It was said that the first 3 pharaohs believed in one creator and didn't deify Cush. After the 4th and 5th dynasty, Kush becomes Amun-Ra. Your people should take a look. The Ethiopians mummified before the Egyptians and gave a transparent look. It was said that the Ethiopian sarcophagus was made of a transparent glass. Because of the interaction between the Ethiopian and the Egyptian, obviously your racist theories are transparent trash. Mental note, if the anthropologists have no morals, history say he will help a racist crook. Show me a country that was colonized, and I'll show you the burning, the disappearing, and the changing of books. Obviously. Thank you.